that weak of character within yourself to think to go out there on and subject your person self like that
Mm-hmm.
for silly stuff. They were grabbing towels, folks.
Yep.
They were towels.
Destroyed everything.
Not just being polite about grabbing the towels.
Yep.
Throwing elbows. They're grabbing bunches of towels. I can't believe that.
Yep.
It really is your life that miserable that the entertainment that you're going to remember for a year is the battle over the towel.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't pay your water bill or your electric bill, so you don't get good clean hot water to use that towel after you take a good shower.
Nope. I don't know. So
I don't know. It does reflect. It reflects the worst in people. I think, even though they got smiles on their faces, and I guess one person got arrested, one person got shot. But the amazing part to me too. And this is the amazing part. There is no racial hatred in there.
Yep.
None whatsoever. Everybody was from wherever they're from, and they had the objective was to get to those towels.
Get to the cheap stuff.
Yeah, because we need it. And take 2.
Yep.
3. Take that little baby. What that baby got with that? Don't need that. That's mine.
Mm-hmm. So that's where we are with Black Friday. Thanksgiving was a success. Black Friday is funny, if anything.
I think so.
I'll call it a success. And now we have another terror attack.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Scores killed in Egypt mosque attack. At least 184 people were killed and another 125 injured in an attack on a mosque in Egypt's North Sinai region on Friday. Egyptian state media reported, making it one of the deadliest attacks ever carried out against civilians in the province.
Yeah.
After at least 2 explosions, gunmen who were waiting outside the mosque opened fire at worshippers as they fled Friday prayers. State-owned Ahram Online said the attack targeted Al Rada Mosque in Bir Al Abed in the West Irish province. MENA said the blasts from the improvised explosives device caused considerable damage to the mosque. They said, "Who's attacking the Muslims here?"
They got the 2 different factions there, the Shia and the Shia and the Sunnis and stuff. So they're still fighting their old ancient type of war that they've been going on over who's the true Muhammad, I guess, or who's the true descendants of Muhammad or something. I don't even know. I'm not in that religion, so I really can't comment on what they're fighting over. But they've been doing it for many years.
I find it weird that Muslims would attack other Muslims during times of worship. So, for example, I understand there's Christians that don't like other Christians. There's like Baptists and Protestants and I was about to say atheists, and Foursquare and Pentecostal. There's all different types of Christians and Mormons,
Christians.
And they don't get along. But they don't. I would never go to another church and try to be disrespectful during a time of worship. I wouldn't even go and debate during a time of worship about what their beliefs are, if their beliefs are different than mine. But Muslims are attacking other Muslims.
I don't really get the religious wars anyways. It's like, as far as I can see, religion should be so personal to you that, that's you. This is the faith and the belief that you have. If your faith and belief is in Muhammad, then that's where it is. If it's in Jesus, then that's where it is. If it's in some lion head or something like that, that's where it is. Wherever you want to put your faith and belief is your own personal right, as far as I can see and stuff.
Now, I know they've attacked a lot of Christian churches out over there in the Middle East and landmarks, but I at least was ignorant to the fact that a lot of Muslim mosques were being attacked by other Muslims.
Yeah, I like I said, I don't get it. and just for what? A verbal point.
Yep.
You know, you don't gain anything from it. You know, it's like I would seem that you're actually losing from it, because it's like, I'm sure God doesn't really condone all these violent acts.
Right.
You know, like, no, you ain't coming up in my house. You know.
Just breaking news: the death toll has jumped from 184, like I just reported, to 235. 235 people were killed, are dead, over an attack.
And you know, I don't think we should. We don't understand dead.
No.
No, we can't handle dead. We like our dead clean. We like our dead in beds in the hospital and stuff with white sheets, and nurses say, "Oh, they was such a very nice person," and stuff like that. Oh, we didn't have any trouble with your loved one while she was here being cared for by. Well, she was comatose. She wasn't moving. You know, so yeah, we like our dead to be dead like that. You know, and it's also we can't handle 235 people blown up.
Nope.
With pieces of wood and other things embedded in them, and burns on part of their body to where they're unrecognizable, not just on their facial features or anything, but on their color, because they be burned so bad. We can't handle that, and the smell of death. People, you don't want to smell death. It stinks. It's really a really bad smelling type of thing for somebody burning flesh or somebody. And then the screams. You know, everybody who's not dead is screaming for help and want their mama, and then you'd be surprised how many people want their mama when they get injured. And you know, these type of things like this, we need to stop those type of things. Those are something that we should really pay attention to, not the sensitivities of somebody's ancestral type of thing. Well, 2,000 years ago, our ancestors were these people. So, you know, that's the us-them thing that we live under in this world. We always got to have us against them. You know?
Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi is meeting with a security committee to discuss repercussions of the attack. Masraya TV reported the presidency has declared 3 days of national mourning. No one has yet claimed responsibility for the attack, and there is no word yet on what happened to the militants involved. However, it bears the hallmarks of an attack by ISIS.
By ISIS, yeah.
ISIS is just causing problems everywhere.
Well, ISIS isn't located anymore like this. ISIS has gone back to its original way of fighting.
Sleeper cells.
Yes, sleeper cells, you know, terrorist attacks, hit and run type of ordeal. Then when they were situated in that city, it was easier for the rest of the world to say and point. There they are. There they are. So we can attack them on this front. We can attack them on this front. But they always had all these splinter groups all over the place, you know. And now that the big city's gone, the splinter groups are still there. We declared success. Oh, we beat ISIS and stuff. You beat nobody. They fight a terrorist type of thing. 235 people are now dead. Because we won. You know, Is that why they're dead? No, that's just what they do. And then we get so complacent because now we're having our joyous event of going shopping and getting some towels. You know, and people, are there sleeper cells in the United States? Yeah. Of course they are. They've been in. They're sleeper cells. How many years did they been in here? We can't fathom years. They might have been in here 10, 12 years. Right.
And then they out of nowhere they attack like that man in New York just did where he ran over all those bicyclists. He'd been in America for a long time and he was just sleeping. His cell, he was just sleeping and waiting to get the call saying it's go time, green light on the attack.
That's it.
And then the attack happened.
And right at this point in time, the sleeper cells don't have to do anything to bring about terror. The terrorists in this country, that the terrorists in the Western world ain't doing stuff. the way they're using terrorism isn't really just to kill people. It's to upset and destroy the economic fiber, and it's upset and destroy the lifestyles of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're using the tool of killing people to doing this and stuff. So just like Black Friday was a success because everybody went in there and bought towels.
Right.
So towel company made money. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Walmart, Target, all these little places like that made it a success. Now, if they blew up something in Egypt, which eventually we'll get around to talking about in your home
Yep.
or something like that about a terrorist attack. But we try not to even mention those things.
Right.
Because we you know. And then are people going to be going out after Black Friday and stuff? If they blew up somebody in Black Friday, it'd have been over for Black Friday.
Right.
It'd have been over. But they didn't do that. They don't have to. You know, they're slowly manipulating the way that they do things. I'm sure that, like, because of the homegrown terrorists who shot up the people at the concert in Vegas and stuff.
Yep.
They're taking a hit in concerts in Vegas. People say,
Right.
well, I don't want to go in that big old crowd. Never
Yep.
know when somebody's going to be crazy because it goes right back to us and them.
Right.
You know? And all them's are the bad ones. They're going to do craziness and stuff like that because us, we the good ones.
Yep.
We're the victims of all these things. And then you're going to fill yourself up with a whole lot of victimization propaganda that you found
Mm-hmm.
to make yourself even more victimized, which I don't understand, rather than finding stuff that's going to make you feel more superior about your own self,
Mm-hmm.
you know, on your own merit, on your own things that you've accomplished, on your drive to learn things, to take risks, to become more than what you even thought you could. No, don't do that. Let's go find something that's going to feed my victimization and make me feel less about myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the crazy part. You do it to yourself. So terrorism, the terrorists, they don't have to move every week, every
Right.
day. They can.
Nope, they don't.
got years.
Yep.
You know.
So, Egyptian security forces face almost daily attacks from ISIS-aligned militants whom they have been battling in northern Sinai for several years. However, mosque attacks are relatively rare in Egypt. The town of Bir al-Abed lies on the main highway running east across northern Sinai to the city of Al-Arish and on to Rafah and Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
So, the mosque attacks are rare. They don't happen as often, but they're so used to being attacked in this town. They said that they face attacks daily.
Yeah, then they become like I said, used to it.
Mm-hmm.
And with becoming used to it, they have cautions that they put in place for their own protection with their own self.
Yep.
People say, I'm not going over there.
Right.
You know, I'm not going over there. I'm not gonna do this. You know, I'm not gonna. Some don't. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. They ain't scaring me.
Yep.
You know, look, we had that Macy's Day Parade. And I saw in the Wall Street Journal. Got the Macy's Day Parade with people in combat gear
Mm-hmm.
for protection at a parade. That isn't that fear, folks? That's fear.
Mm-hmm.
You can think about how and beat yourself on your chest. Yeah, I'm going out there. I'm not afraid. Yeah, you're not afraid because you got all this protective security out there. Don't say anything wrong because they don't know you.
Right.
You know,
They don't.
They don't know you. You do something wrong and look suspicious, you're going down too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know they know you. Because everybody right now, even the protectors, their first thing is, I got to get home to my loved ones.
Yep.
You know, so it's like we're all living under this big old cloud of fear, and for a lot of us, we're not knowing it because we can fill it up with make believe things that's just gonna make us feel either less about ourselves for the most part, because I don't see it feeling more about ourselves. We try to feel more about ourselves by legalizing silly stuff like marijuana.
Yep.
You know, they got look what we did. We legalized marijuana so the whole country can be stoned. Oh, that's a good thing.
Well, there's a lot of horrible things going on in the country, Trip.
Yeah.
That's why we have to be stoned.
Yeah.
Now look at what's going on here. We're running people over for Black Friday as opposed to what's going on in places like Egypt where they have to deal with terror attacks
Yeah.
every day.
Every day.
I didn't get it.
And Israel, it's like all they do is look for ways to grab land. It's like people, you can say, even if you, what they say, a Semitist, or they can call me any kind of name like this, but the facts there are the facts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Gaza, the West Bank, all those places like this, they're way over the line in West Bank now, Egypt.
Yep.
Building settlements and stuff like this. And then they put the line in. They're way on the other side of that line. They don't care. And what are they doing? They're upset now because Syria, Turkey, Iran are all talking with Russia.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, they got a big dog behind them now.
Mm-hmm.
And we can say all the words we want about Russia and everything. It's a big dog.
Yep.
With big teeth. You know, just like the United States. Just like China. Those are big dogs with big teeth.
Yep.
Yeah, and those three smaller dogs that Egypt definitely, that Israel always talk about and stuff, they're right there. And if you don't think ISIS is involved with this stuff, of course they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, ISIS is involved in all that stuff going on in the Middle East over there.
Yep.
And you don't know what they look like.
And I don't know. There's Bosnians, there's Serbs, there's ISIS, there's America,
Taliban,
there's Russia. Look at what's going on in Syria.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just so much going on that it's hard to keep track, especially when you live in a little bubble like the United States where you're worried about your personal life so much.
Yeah, your personal life and your social warrior justice entrance fee.
Yep.
Find something that really, and you can't really justify, but find it anyway. You know, or you're worried about, somebody said I look good at the water cooler and stuff like that, but I didn't want them to say that I look good.
Yep.
You know, that sexual harassment like that. How dare they say that stuff? You know, it's like, okay, you know.
Yep.
And then you're gonna be like the millennials and stuff like that, and everybody. Don't look at them, even though they're wearing yoga pants that their little kids are supposed to wear, but they're wearing those anyway, and they're wearing them out in public. And don't look at it at the people who go to pick up their groceries in pajamas. You know, it's like you can't have. We want everything our own way for our own selves.
Yep. That's why we're over there meddling in their business now, and that's why they hate us so much.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're just going to isolate ourselves and build walls, and we're blaming on anybody who doesn't look like the quoted us.
Yep.
Which is, I don't know what that us looks like. It ain't me.
Yep.
You know, everybody in the Middle East looks like me. Yeah.
Well, before we get out of here, Troop, we have less than about 10 minutes left on the show for the weekend. Antonio Damon, we've been covering this story. The man who went on a rampage in Worcester where he raped a woman at the downtown building where we used to do Archangel, Return to Chivalry, and Truth in the AM. That man got sentenced to 25 to 30 years in prison for his rampage.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
He needed to be off the streets for 25 to 30 years. He was a predator. And we need to really treat predators as predators.
Yeah, but there's some people who committed murder that don't get that much time.
I know. It's not a fair and equally dished out type of thing. But if you're a predator and you're doing these things, then you should be treated as stuff.
Yep.
He probably got more time because right now at the moment, we're focused on sexual abuse and stuff like this. So on the sentencing, okay, you know, if we were focused on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, he wouldn't have got that much.
Right.
He got a lot, but he wouldn't have got that much time.
Mm-hmm. Antonio L. Damon was sentenced to 25 to 30 years behind bars Wednesday for what prosecutors described as a violent, hour-long crime rampage last year that included sexual assaults, kidnappings, a carjacking, and armed robbery. A Worcester Superior Court jury found the 36-year-old Mr. Damon guilty November 9th on 3 counts of aggravated rape, aggravated kidnapping, 2 counts of strangulation or suffocation, and carjacking, assault with an intent to rape, indecent assault and battery, armed robbery, 2 counts of assault and battery, breaking and entering, and putting a person in fear, 2 counts of assault with a dangerous weapon, and driving so as to all endanger, all occurring in one day. In 24 hours, yep. And in 1 hour,
Yeah.
his life, he has to pay 25 to 35 to 30 years for.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, but he deserves it.
Yep.
But it ain't so much just the flippant way I just said he deserves it and stuff like that. If you break the law, the law should be enforced. If you break the law, then you have to do the time.
Yep, you do.
And that's what the problem is. Some people are getting away with not doing the crime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even like those state police that were getting reprimanded for writing that report about the
woman,
judge's daughter.
Yep.
It's like she broke the law.
Oh, heads are rolling for that one though.
And they should roll.
Yeah.
I think that's going to roll, not so much into the governorship of today in Massachusetts, but I think DeVal Patrick's governorship is going to get involved in that thing. Might even go into this new administration. I think because of the governor's council and the people like that. I think because of Tim Murray and his group and stuff. I think there's a lot of people that's going to get caught up in this. Whether they're guilty or not, I don't know. I think they're going to get caught up in this type of thing that went on, because this is total abuse of power right now.
Well, he is considering a run for presidency, so.
Who?
DeVal Patrick.
I don't think I think, like I said, I think he might, I think it's going up that high.
Oh, well.
I think that the corruption has been exposed.
You know what I think he'll be kind of untouchable? Because it happened, the exposing part happened after he left out of office.
Yeah.
So just like Hillary, she had her skeletons in her closet.
They're coming out now?
They're coming out now, but I don't think it's going to really affect him running. If he loses, it's just because the things that he does while he's running that'll cost him the presidency if he does in fact end up running. But that is the rumor that even Barack Obama is trying to encourage DeVal Patrick, former Governor DeVal Patrick, to run for office.
They like people from that. Everybody's on the western part, they're trying to get Mitt Romney to make more runs for the Senate in Utah, and then make his run for the presidency again.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff. That people, cause seem like we don't have any people that's worthy of running in today's world and stuff.
Right.
And that's understandable because everybody's shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Damon, the assistant district attorney, asked the judge to impose a prison term of 58 to 80 years. So the district attorney really wanted them to do a lot of time. Mr. Damon's lawyer said that he was on a 3-day drug binge at the time of his offenses and asked the court to impose a sentence of 9 to 13 years.
Yeah.
He is doing 25 to 30 though. For his part,
split it.
Yep. So for his part, Mr. Damon told the court his accusers were over-exaggerating the whole thing and making up all this extra stuff, and that's why he got hit with so much time. Instead of apologizing and saying, I'm sorry for all of this to happen, he said they were over-exaggerating and making up all this extra stuff. I did not do all this stuff they're saying I did, he said, and offered an opportunity to speak. I apologize for everything that happened, said Mr. Damon, who told Judge Tucker he was a church-going man and the father of 5 children. I was high that day, getting high, and I messed up, he said. According to the testimony, Mr. Damon's 8-day trial, his series of crimes began shortly before 5 p.m. and ended before 7 p.m. So a 1-hour crime spree that ended up costing him a good portion of his life.
Yeah. And hope lessons are learned from this, folks, too, because we have a real bad drug problem out there, and we're so trying to sanitize our drug problem that this is a result of what drugs can do to you.
Yep.
Is the man lying when he said that? Absolutely not.
Yep.
Absolutely not. He was not in control of anything but his emotions had taken over his wants and whatever it is. He was out to lunch. And we have to take into we don't have to take into account anything, but we should take into account for future references on just what drugs do.
Yep.
And stop all this pretense that drugs, they're a disease, and because they're a disease, we can fix it as a disease. And the good people, when they're on drugs, they really get hurt by it. The bad people, when they're on drugs, they get 25 to 30 years.
Yep.
It's like, nah. But is there an excuse for this? Nah. No excuse whatsoever.
Texter Roger LaFerriere says the day Democrats guarantee that turds like this guy no longer exist will be the day that I may agree to discuss gun control. Of course, true Americans realize that gun control has nothing to do with crime control and everything to do with political control.
I don't know. I'm an advocate against gun controls. I wish everybody could get rid of their guns or stuff. Or if not, if you're really a gun enthusiast and you want to go and shoot targets and stuff like that, leave your guns at the range.
Yep.
I don't think people should be walking around with guns all over the place like that. So me and guns don't get along. I didn't carry a gun half the time in Vietnam. I just don't particularly like cleaning them.
Right. Another texter says, bye-bye, loser. One less POS I have to worry about when my wife gets out of work.
What's a POS?
Piece of...
Oh, PO.
Yeah, one less POS I have to worry about when my wife gets out of work. That is true. When you have a wife that works and there's men like this guy, Damon, running around carjacking and raping and strangling and stuff like that. Hey.
I agree. I agree that you can't have predators on the street. We can't have evil monsters running around, and that's what it's all about. But we have to get rid of the creation of the monsters.
Yep.
It ain't we just can't, when the monster does something wrong, then we get the monster off the street. We have to find what caused the monster to come. What created the monster? Obviously, part of his creation came from drugs.
Right.
That was part of his creation. The other parts with the sexual rapings and all these kind of things like that, I don't know where that came from.
Nope.
But I know whatever it is, we need to find as a society what causes these things to come about.
Yep.
Then we need to cut it off, stone it, get rid of it.
Yep.
That's what we need to do. Our reactionary way of approaching things, it's not working, folks.
Nope.
It's not working because it is reactionary. There has to be something that's hurtful first, and then we react to it. And that's not a good way to be.
Well, Troop, unfortunately, it is 10:59. We have come to the end of Truth It in the AM. We hope you guys enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. We will be back. Troop will be back on Tuesday, Voice of the Voiceless Tuesday. Also on Wednesday, do not forget that Archangel, A Return to Chivalry, comes on every Wednesday from 3 to 4 p.m. on blogtalkradio.com/Archangel, A Return to Chivalry. Also on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and everywhere else. Make sure you tune in to Archangel, A Return to Chivalry.
Yeah.
Troop, so you're heading out, getting ready to go be with the family for the weekend?
No, just for the day. I gotta go down and see my daughter and the grandbabies in Rockland.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be going by one of those malls, but I'll be on the look.
Yeah, look for any of the rampages of people.
They're all indoors now. So.
Yeah.
But I guess they have a second group of people coming and do this here. So I gotta go down there. And I want everybody, if there's anybody out there who had the good fortune to get one of those towels, send a picture. I want to see these towels. I can't get over there. And maybe because it's not a new year yet, but we don't have to wait for the whole new year to start. We just had a glorious Thanksgiving and everybody had fun and ate and everything. And now, it still spilled over a little bit to Black Friday, because even though there was a lot of chaos and a lot of pushing and shoving and a lot of stuff, they were done with smiles on their faces. So that's something. And everybody was from whatever walk of life they were from.
Mm-hmm.
Rich, poor, black, white, You know, any they were all there, and there was arrests and shootings and stuff, but it was all that was done over materialistic things. But we need to enhance that good feeling that everybody has about themselves.
Yes, we do.
I think we need to start now and really get rid of these things. Really get rid of. At least get rid of racial prejudice, hatred. It doesn't even really exist in today's world anymore.
Church.
You know, let that beast die, and then we'll go after the next monsters,
Yep.
like one of our Texas says. Yeah, there's monsters out there, folks. They're real, live monsters out there. That's what they are. They're just that evil. That Texas called it right. They're monsters.
Yep.
And we do not need to live in that kind of fear. The rest of the world, they got used to it and everything, and you can see that they're not on the same level of development and economic prosperity that we are. So let's not go down to there. You know, let's get rid of the monsters. We can do that. We can do that. That's a doable thing.
Yep.
And it's stupid joke. I want to tell everybody to go have that fun for the weekend and just enjoy life.
All right, everybody, have that fun.
All right.